Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a little bit different. Um Today I am going to be talking about my road to recovery and when I first found out that I was having symptoms, or when I first got diagnosed with COVID-19 on December 30th. I did a live stream on December 30th. And during my stream, I started having some weird feeling, like just weird. But prior to that, I had 2 weeks before that, I was feeling some pain in my joints and stuff like that. But like all the pain in my joints, I thought it was because of my lupus, because I have lupus also. So I thought that, the pain that I was feeling in my body was because of my lupus. That was like about a week or two or so ago. And then after that, that Wednesday, which was December 30th, I did a stream on December 30th. Through the entire stream, like, I was okay, but like when I get to halfway towards the end of it, I started feeling weird. Like I have like cough, like something literally stuck in my throat. Started coughing through the stream. For some reason, the stream ended. I started feeling worse. So I started feeling worse into that night. The coughing just continues. It just continues. The coughing continues. My body really started aching. I started having like a really bad headache. And after the headache, it was more like not so my entire head was hurting. It was more so here in my face, go up in my head was hurting. So that morning I wake up, I lost my voice. Then my throat was like really raw, like to the point where I thought maybe it's just a sinus infection, or maybe I just caught a cold or something. For some weird reason, it was closer now to the New Year's. So all the regular doctors and everything like that, they're closed. My doctor's office was closed. They're not going to be open back until January 4th. So I started having more and more symptoms, to the point where I lost my taste. I lost my smell. My congestion was like really bad. It got really worse to the point where I felt like I can't breathe. My chest started tightening up. It was just a scary feeling for me. But at the same time, in the back of my head, once I lost my taste and my smell, I knew what it was. I didn't want to admit to it. That's what it was. So that Monday, I went to the doctor. I was still not wanting to admit that's what that was for me. Because I have like a lot of other health issues, I was scared because I didn't want to admit that that's what it was. I went to the doctor that Monday, and I explained to the doctor like what was going on with me, like all my symptoms and everything. And at that point, when I got to the doctor, I was running a fever at that point. They did checked. They had to do a rapid test because from all the symptoms that I was having, they didn't want to send me back home and do a test that's going to come back in 3 days. And I have been feeling sick from like about almost a week before. So they didn't want to send me home with just a regular test that they do that comes back in like 24 hours or so. They wanted to do a rapid test, which is going to come back in 30 minutes to be able to tell me what's really going on. However, they did the test, and I waited for the 30 minutes, which all this time, the doctors came outside and checked me because I wasn't allowed to go inside of the building because of the symptom that I was having. So, they set up like tents outside for people that is having like COVID-19 symptoms. So they came out and they tested me outside. It was cold and everything, so I had to go back in my car and sit in my car and wait for my results. Now, when they came back with my results in 30 minutes, she told me that I was tested positive for COVID. I feel like my whole world just shattered. I was scared because I know the survival rate is low. And because I know that I have like all these other health issues. I have a lupus. I have high blood pressure. And I am extremely anemic. So I know my rate for survival, it was going to be slim to none. I came home that day and I told my kids that this is what it is. I have small children. I have older kids, but I also have smaller children. I have 4 small kids in the range from the age of 12 to 4. Those are my smallest children. My older kids are 22 and 24. So they're older, so they understand. But my daughter, she's not living at home. My son is at home. That night, when I had to go to sleep, it was hard for me to sleep because like my mind was racing and I didn't know like what to do at this point. I really just didn't want this virus to like take me away from my kids at this point because I do have small children. And that's where it hits me when I look at them. My son is 4. And that night he told me he didn't want to sleep. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning and he was still up. I didn't know what to do. I got up and I put my mask on, my gloves on. I had a double mask. So I went to his room and I asked him why he doesn't want to go to sleep. He said that he don't want to sleep because when he wake up, I may not be here. That literally just break my heart. And I knew at that point I had to fight because I had them. I knew I had to. I had no choice. All along, I've been doing everything right. I clean every day. I wipe every day. I stay home for the most part. The only place I go is the grocery store. I don't have friends over. I don't let my children go anywhere. My children do homeschool. I did everything right. And I still got it. And I just felt like at that point, I just felt like it was unfair. And I really did think I wasn't going to make it because I've seen people have it and they did not make it. Where I live, even in one day, 300, 400, 500 people die from it in the state that I live in. So when I found out that I had it, I knew my chances were slim to none. But I knew when I look at my kids, I had to fight with everything I got. I waited for 17 days after I was diagnosed with the virus. I went back and I took a test, and the test still came back positive. My 12-year-old, I think that's when it really get to him. Like, he's always a quiet person, but for some reason he got really quiet, like through the whole time I was sick. When I came back and the result was still positive, at that point, it literally broke him. He had to call my parents and tell them that he don't want to lose me. Like, he wasn't sleeping. He stopped eating. It hit is hard. It's really hard to see your children go through what they go through when you're sick and you're all they have. My son is 22. He had to leave from being an older sibling in the house to being a parent to the smaller kids. And I know that has to be hard on him. If I didn't have him, I don't know what I would do. Or if he had moved out, I don't know what I would do, because I would have all these small children and no one to care for them. Because at this point, can no one come in? Can no one go out? So I don't know what I would have done. It's just hard to go through such, it's just really hard to go through, because you feel lonely, you're locked away in a room by yourself. It's really hard. I know that it gotta be hard on my children. I have a granddaughter, and it's so hard to know that I can't physically get to see her. It is hard for me not to be able to touch my kids or to hug my kids, or when they're having a bad day. I literally had to stay in my room. And if I want to do any activities with my kids, I had to video call them on their device. And that's how I was able to communicate with them. Yes, I can hear them, but I can't touch them, or I can't be around them. And you locked away in a room for so long, it gets lonely. And it's like you got all these things racing in your head. Am I going to survive, or I'm really gonna die from this virus? Because you see every day people die. Hundreds of people are dying, and people are still not taking it serious. And today, I can truly say that I am a survivor. I got my results back last night, and it was like, ever since then, it's just been tears of joy, because a lot of people didn't make it. A lot of people didn't make it. And for all the people that is taking it like it's a joke, it's not a joke. The pain that I go through, the pain that I feel, the headache, the stuffiness, the tightness in your chest, to the point where you feel like you can't breathe. Trust me, a lot of times I lay here and I really can't breathe. Like, it's so hard for me. But I didn't want to go to the hospital, because if I go to the hospital, that was going to be it. Because most people, when they go to the hospital, they don't come back. So I knew if I went to the hospital, they was gonna keep me because of like all my other health issues. And I didn't want that. So I had to fight with everything I got to try to stay away from there, because I knew if I went there, that was gonna be it for me. So please, people is not taking it serious. Please take it serious, because it is serious. It is serious. This virus is killing people by the day, by the second. And I do urge people to stop going around in large groups without a mask, because people can be carrying this virus and you don't know that they have it. They seem healthy because they're not having any symptoms, and you could be the one to catch it, and you have underlying health issues and you don't even know you have underlying health issues, and you may not make it, you may not survive. But today I can say thank you, God, for seeing me, for remembering me, for getting me through this. Because if it wasn't because of him, I promise you I would not be standing today to say that I am COVID free. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your prayers. Thank you for all your kind words. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like, I push through all the time. Even though I'm here, I can barely talk. I'm always on somebody's stream. Even if I don't go on this stream, like on the screen, like I'm always still in my bed in pain. Trust me, I go through a lot over the past couple weeks, but I still make it to be on other people's streams. I still make it to do whatever it is that I have to do. But I thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate it. I thank you for all your kind words. I thank you for all your prayers. I really just thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.